accept, some may not. At the end of the day, each country takes its own responsibility.
The earliest recorded case of the COVID-19 virus was reported on November 17, 2019, of a 55-year-old man with a confirmed case of the novel coronavirus. It is thought that this man was the first to get the COVID-19 virus because for 1 month after that date, there were 1 to 5 new similar cases reported each day. The exact identity and whereabouts of this person are not yet known. On 30th December 2019, a group of well-meaning, heroic Wuhan doctors, including Li Wenliang, shared information about the newly emerging coronavirus to their colleagues and became whistleblowers when the information became public. They were squashed and admonished. They were forced to take back their statements as authorities accused them for making false accusations on the internet. Li Wenliang later got the coronavirus himself, supposedly from treating an infected patient. He died on February 7th at age 33. On 31st December, China contacts the WHO and informs them of cases of pneumonia of an unknown cause. It is at this time that China should have disclosed information of the new virus to the world. They didn't. They even censored the hashtag Wuhan SARS and were silencing anyone spreading information on COVID-19. China has also been silencing whistleblowers reporting the COVID-19 outbreak in Wuhan. One of these whistleblowers was Chen Qiushi, who was a journalist who had been reporting on the outbreak in Wuhan. He went missing on February 6th. It was on 8th January that scientists in China finally disclosed about the discovery of a new coronavirus to the world. On 13th January, Thailand witnessed the world's first confirmed coronavirus case outside of China. The infected person was a 61-year-old woman from Wuhan who had arrived in Bangkok on 8th January. The next day, Maria Van Kerkhove, acting head of WHO's Emerging Diseases Unit, said that, quote, "It's very clear right now that we have no sustained human-to-human transmission regarding the new COVID-19 virus. This would later prove to be wrong." It was until 21st January that Chinese authorities came out and said that yes, COVID-19 virus is indeed human-to-human transmissible, proving the information the WHO gave out was wrong. On 27th January, Gabriel Luing, Dean of the University of Hong Kong Medical School and one of the world's foremost experts on viruses, projected that the true number of cases of COVID-19 infections were likely 10 times more than the official reported numbers. He estimated that there were between 44,000 to 100,000 infections in China alone. On 28th January, the WHO chief Tedros Adhanom meets Chinese President Xi Jinping in Beijing. After the meeting, the WHO chief came back and defended China despite its gross mismanagement of the highly contagious disease. From its very first case in November to the Wuhan lockdown and even till today, China has been dishonest and hesitant to reveal critical information about the coronavirus's origin and prevalence. People like Li Wenliang, Chen Qiushi, and many unnamed others who covered the COVID-19 spread in Wuhan were silenced and detained, with their media posts and reports deleted. Tedros joined this effort by publicly praising China for its efforts.
In many ways, China is actually setting a new standard for outbreak. I would like to summarize those recommendations.
On 31st January, UK and Russia confirmed their first COVID-19 cases, while cases in Thailand, China, and other countries were rapidly increasing. China also starts repatriating citizens to Wuhan. US President Donald Trump took a critical step and issued a travel ban to Wuhan on this day. Tedros, in response, said that widespread travel bans and restrictions were not needed to stop the outbreak and could, quote, have the effect of increasing fear and stigma with little public health benefit. He advised other countries to not follow the US lead. This would later result in heavy consequences. By February 28th, the COVID-19 virus had already killed 2,788 people with over 80,000 infections worldwide. The virus had spread over a large number of countries, New Zealand being the latest. This is where the WHO let us down again. Till yet, the WHO had not labeled COVID-19 a pandemic. It was still being called an epidemic. On this, Tedros Adhanom had to say, quote, "We should not be eager to declare a pandemic without a careful and clear-minded analysis of facts. The WHO did not officially declare COVID-19 a pandemic until the 11th of March. Obviously, by then, it was too late. By the 11th of March, there were 118,000 cases in 114 countries with over 4,291 deaths worldwide. This declaration followed extensive criticism that the WHO response was delayed and weak, and appropriately favorable toward the government of China. Rightly so. Because the WHO didn't label COVID-19 a pandemic until the 11th of March, international travel continued to happen freely between China and the rest of the world. By the time the WHO came back to its senses, the virus had spread well over the world. People from Wuhan with the infection moved all over and took the infection with them. Because of this, a local infection became an epidemic. Even more, the WHO barely investigated the epidemic and did not call out the responsibility of the Chinese government in making it the dangerous pandemic it is now. In short, the irresponsibility and general carelessness of the WHO severely increased the magnitude of this virus. Another mistake made by the WHO was its stance on wearing masks. The Chinese government on 22nd January mandated that everyone in Wuhan will not go out of their houses without wearing a mask, whether one had the virus or didn't. The WHO, on the other hand, kept telling that it is okay not to wear a mask, saying, quote, "We do not recommend the use of masks unless you yourself are sick and to prevent the onward spread if you are ill," even when they knew that if a person is asymptomatic, he or she can still spread the virus. Everyone should have been wearing masks so that knowingly or unknowingly they were not infecting others. Whereas in China, it was mandated that everyone should wear masks. Chinese police, in fact, even beat and humiliated people who went out in public without wearing masks. The steps China took were very different from the steps WHO told the rest of the world to take. One last thing I have to say is that I'm quite surprised that the WHO has not said anything about the wet markets in China, which are the origination point of this virus. Not even one word of warning to China and other regions like Thailand and Malaysia, which also have wet markets. All of these countries need to be told to stop this immediately. The WHO should pass strict guidelines on wet markets as the threat they pose is global. In fact, I even support them banning wet markets altogether. It still amazes me that there is no statement from the WHO even though China reopened their wet markets on 12th April, a decision which could unleash a whole new, even more dangerous disease on mankind. Wet markets clearly need to be shut down so that future outbreaks don't occur. With all of this said, I now share my concluding statements. The WHO's analysis has always been behind the curve. They have misled the world by not declaring COVID-19 a pandemic at an earlier point where all of this could still be contained. They even allowed normal day-to-day air travel to continue, causing the virus to spread easily. Their guidelines and stance on masks was controversial, and they should have told everyone to wear masks. Lastly, the fact that they still have not released a statement on the future of wet markets may result in a much bigger problem as time goes on. This organization needs to have its leadership overhauled. We deserve a better organization than this. And that's all for this video. Thank you all for watching, subscribe and like, and goodbye.